Hello everybody and welcome back to TSW4 for the final time. So if you remember back on the 24th of September last year, so nearly a year ago, we did the first service that I ran on here was a service from King's Cross to Leeds, starting at Grantham to Doncaster. And to finish off, a bit like what we did last year with TSW3, we are finishing with the first route that played on the game, and with the reverse service of the first run we did. So today we are doing the 1 Alpha 26 Leeds to King's Cross. We are in a class 801 Azuma with 9 cars. 474 tonnes and 255.1 yards long. Kinda wish that was in metres, but So I'll be driving from Doncaster to Grantham at 11:45:06 in the morning. So let's get this thing set up and started. Right, hit the wrong button for a second now. Safe systems on, headlights are on. Open up the doors.
And AWS operational.
Right, so we are just stopping at Grantham. Just gonna quickly take a picture. A couple of pictures. I've got an idea for this one, and I did this idea on the farewell video on TSW3 as well. If you haven't noticed it, you might want to go look at the thumbnail of that video and just have a sneak peek. If you can find it, then well done, because to be fair, it is a little bit small. Okay.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Let's get the camera set up there. There we go. Right, so head off. If we do this wrong, we do it wrong. Next stop, Grantham. Right, and off we go. It is nice now. The Azumas have suspension. Back in the day, when this first came out, route was pretty good. It was all right. Had a fair amount of bugs, which seems to be a running theme of new routes on here. But no, it was still fun. I still enjoy this route. Play it a fair amount. But yeah, the Azumers had a lot of work done. The Roots had a little bit of work done. It's quite nice now, to be fair. It's definitely improved a lot since it first came out. Still a couple of bits that could probably be worked on, but it's not the end of the world. At least the headlights don't have that weird fading out thing that kept happening every time you move 1 degree to the right or left, depending on where you were standing. And the AI just to drive around with the bloody engines running as well at the same time, which was odd, but oh well. So one of my most popular videos has come out on was on this route, the train spotting video at Grantham, the early morning one. That one was currently my most popular video. So if you haven't seen that, go have a look at that one. So I started out as a bit misty this morning, just because if I look out my window, it is actually like this at the moment, which is quite nice, to be fair. Or missed a little bit of fog. Now further down the line, this always catches me out every now and again, is there's a corner and it changes from 125 to 110. I'm going to see if I can actually do that one properly, because it does catch me out a fair amount, to be honest. I know there's a Morpus board for it, but I do miss it quite often. Situational awareness has been it's definitely been degrading over the years. We're now approaching 125 miles an hour. Still haven't seen the Morpeth board, but I'm gonna just idle it now because I know that it's coming up soon. See the mist starting to burn off now. It's starting to get a bit brighter. We are approaching the corner, so I am just gonna bring the brake on. Just in preparation. There's the Morpeth board, just saw it on the gantry poster. That's good, so we're not too far away from the corner, so this isn't really going to change much. And there's 110. Neutral section. Soon we'll be cleared back up to 125. After that, the next adverse speed we need to contend with is at Retford, which will be, and there's 125, which will be a 120 mile per hour limit at the end of the platform, and then more or less immediately into a 115 limit. So when we get to Radlett, we'll just slow down to 115 because 115 is pretty much just around the corner from the 120 speed limit, so there's no point staying at 120. Going a little bit too quick there. The throttle is limited, the speed is limited to 126, so the power comes off at 126, but you can push it into 127. But that keeps it within the limit. The legal requirement limit sort of thing, which is you can go 3 miles per hour over the indicated speed limit. It's not something you should always do. It's just sort of like a little bit of leeway in case you just overdo it a tiny bit. Bit like how when you drive, and it's roughly the same in the car as well. I think it's about 3 miles an hour or so at the moment. I think it used to be 5, and then it got taken down by 2 miles an hour. Just in case you're with cars, it's more or less in case your speedometer's crap, a little bit off. Because some of them are. Like on my car, my speedometer's about 2 miles an hour off. But yeah, that speed thing's coming down as speedometers get better. So the same with trains, but they sort of always keep to about the 3 mile an hour thing, if I remember correctly. I may be spouting absolute horse shit. So yeah, take that with a pinch of salt. Between Doncaster and Retford it's 16 miles, and it's about roughly the same again between Retford and Newark Northgate, which will also be passing through. That is also going to be an adverse speed area as well, which we'll have to slow down to 100 miles an hour before Newark Northgate as we go over the crossroad bit, and then we can go back up to 125. So we should be approaching Retford now. So I'm just bringing it down to 120 just in preparation. Yep, we're passing Retford now. Just have to double check. There's the 120 Morpeth board. We're going to slow down to 115 anyway. And there's the 120 sign. And just up here is the 115. And here's the 115. The distance is just short. We could have. Sorry, got whistleboard. Yeah, we could have stayed at 120, but I just don't bother. There's just no point really, in my opinion. Most of you probably would go at 120, but yeah. I'm liking the suspension. If anyone's wondering if it's just a little bit too bouncy, that's just because I have the camera sway up, so it yeah, it kind of visualises it a little bit more than normal. I quite like it. I like watching it bouncing around. One thing that I did wish that they'd have on here is the Class 91s, the Intercity 225s. That'd be so good, because you can do this particular service with those, because they do the runs to Leeds at the moment. It's about as far as they go now, which is kind of sad to be fair, but you know. Right, we cleared back up to 125 in a second. Just got to make sure the end of the train gets past it. Don't know why I'm slowing down so much. Probably on a hill. Although I have the brake on by accident. Don't matter. Anyway, yeah, the 225s, 91s, yeah. They definitely need to add them onto here. Would be nice. Unless they make like the King's Cross to Peterborough section. Although, no, probably only do it up to Stevenage. Which I hope if they do the section of the East Coast Main Line out of King's Cross, they do it just up to Peterborough. So that would be good. And then I would like a Doncaster to York. With the break off to like Hull and that. That would be good as well, I think. So I apologise if you're hearing me sniff or anything. I am muting the mic, hopefully, every time I do that. Yeah. Usual crap, got a cold, woo. Looks like all the mist is burnt off now, it's quite nice. Did anyone notice with the fog that on quite a few of the routes, like even with TSW4, the fog, it just immediately disappears. There's like no fade out like it has now, it just snap your fingers and it's gone. It's really odd. Also, I can see the moon up there, just behind the catenary wires. I do like this game. It does have some flaws, granted. I know a lot of people complain about it, and to be honest, quite right with a fair few of the bits. It's fair enough, but I don't know. I still like the game, bugs and all. It's a good game. It's fun to play. I enjoy playing it. Like sometimes I don't mind too much if bits are a bit off, because you know, some things you can't help. Like people have been bitching and moaning about the licensing thing with the West Coast Main Line. like LNWR not giving the licensing agreement. That's just a thing that could happen. Oh, there's Fly Scotsman. Such a fun train to drive as well. Can't wait for them to put suspension on that. It's gonna throw you into the roof. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a licensing thing. You can't help. It's not Dovetail's fault. It's not LNWR's fault. It's just a thing that happens. You know, if they don't want to put their name on something, then they're not going to put their name on something. They have a right to do that. It's fair enough. But things like major bugs and that I can get behind. That's fine, fair enough. And this game does have a fair amount of bugs, especially when new routes come in. Things get broken. Like the most recent example I can think of is the BR Class 2. Was it 218? If I remember correctly, the big old honking diesel thing, the DB. Big old diesel. Great thing to try. Love driving that as well. But yeah, if you do it on certain routes, you can't open you can't control the doors. It's hard, very hard. But you know, that I can get behind getting a little bit pissed off about, because you want to drive the train, you want to do the doors, the thing won't work. You can't do it. But yeah, no. Other than that, this game, loved it. Been loving it. So it's kind of slightly sad to see it go, but then it's all going to transfer over to TSW4 anyway, which I'm looking forward to. Some of the stuff that are going to come out of that, especially conductor mode. You know I'm going to be all over that. That might even be the first thing I'll do, is conductor mode. So when TSW5 goes and inevitably TSW6 comes out, I'm going to get in on that, methinks. Yeah, conductor mode first run maybe, and then the reverse of that service when it goes, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, we're approaching Newark Northgate. We've got the 100-mile-an-hour section coming up at the end of this bridge. So I'm just going to hammer the brake on, because I'm just talking and not concentrating. And we're going to just go continue braking. So that was the crossover. And we are now coming into Newark Northgate. We're not stopping here, but we do have a double aspect, so the next one we're just going to treat as a yellow, and we're going to come down to 40 unless we see otherwise. Should always treat an aspect, a yellow aspect, as a caution. That's green, so we can start back up again. But yeah, if you go past a double yellow, always assume the next one's going to be yellow, even if you notice that the signal has changed back to green as you go past it, because you don't want to accidentally assume that, in case the change over to red just for some reason knocks it into green briefly. And you think it's green, you go through the next one at 125 and it's a single aspect, and then you blast through the red and spad. Anyway, we're cleared back up to 125 again. It was just 100 for the crossover bit. Bit of stutter there. To be fair, I know it's been stuttering a little bit, which is fair enough. I'm playing on a Xbox Series S, and it's, you know, considering how it used to be back in the day, like Clapham Junction, when that first Clapham Junction, Jesus Christ, no, yeah, Clapham Junction on the London commuter route, when that first came out, couldn't go through that at all when it first came out was on the Xbox One. Even when I got the Xbox Series S, it struggled horrifically, and now I can just go through that. I've even tried it on the Xbox One and I can go through it on that as well now. So the memory issues on Roots is one thing that I can say has definitely improved, at least from my perspective. It seems to have improved massively. Still a bit of stuttering every now and again, but you know, I think we can live with that. I think I'm chasing something. I'm definitely going to be chasing something. So now every now and again you get a double aspect anyway, and then the next one will just be green. But I am pretty sure I'm chasing something right now. Anyway, so we've just gone through Northgate, so next station is Grantham. That's where we're going to end this. The next adverse speed we got is 115 as we come towards Grantham, and then on the other side of Grantham is 100 mile an hour limit. No, as we go through Grantham, sorry, it's 100 mile an hour limit, but that isn't going to be a factor anyway because we're stopping there. Then after that, there's the 115 limit as you go out of the Grantham area, come out of there, it's back to 125 until you get to Peterborough, and then depending on where you go, it's either a 40, a 30, or it'll still be 125. But no, sorry, 100 I think, through the platforms, if I remember correctly. But that doesn't matter anyway because we're not going to Peterborough. Just gotta get to a corner. If we get a good lean on the corner, I'm going to do another screenshot. I really don't like these digital speedometers. I prefer the analog ones. You kind of read them a little bit better. Like I can read this one fine, but I do prefer analog speedometers over digital. Just have to let me know what you think. Do you prefer analog speedometers or digital speedometers? There we go. Right, at this point we are approaching Grantham, so we'll soon have to contend with the 115. Oh. Oh, oh no. Zuma's not happy. Not in the slightest, Christ. I fell back. The God, all the polygons. Shit. Get that a lot with the HST on this route. That was actually kind of nice. Shit, that was just tragic. So, with the upcoming 115, the best way to know where it is there is a tunnel, and it starts right at the entrance of the tunnel. That tunnel should be somewhere up here. Not around this corner. I think it's this corner, and then there's a straightaway, and it's at the end of the straightaway. And at that point, we want to start slowing down as well to stop at Grantham. There's a tunnel up there. Let's just bring the brakes on. It's okay if we come down just a little early. It's best to be safe than sorry. So just going to start slowing down, minimum braking. We don't have to do it too quick because it is a little bit up ahead, but we want to slow down, make sure we come into Grantham at a decent pace. I usually just come blasting in, but at least with this last one we want to try and at least try to do it somewhat calm. Probably have done it a little bit too early, but whatever. So double aspect, so we'll want to bring this down to 40 miles an hour ish for the next one. And then we want to approach reds at about 20 and below. So there's the 100 limit. And Grantham is just round the end of this corner. With the red aspect being on the other side of the platform. So there's the platforms, so there's a service there. And just bring it nice and gently. Make sure we stop at the right point. And that'll do it. So that's it. That is the last service that I'll be running on TSW4. I hope you enjoyed that one. I know it wasn't the greatest of driving, and it never will be, but I hope it was at least a good enough watch. So, unless we have to lock the doors, which I'm pretty sure we probably have to. Nope, we don't. Okay. Yeah, okay, alright. There's a fair bit of speeding, but that was... To be fair, that was where I got to 125 and only had a marginal amount of power on, so it probably slipped into 126. Except for that end bit. Oh. Alright, fine, fair enough. Anyway. We'll watch this leave. And that will be the end of it. So, yes, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in Train Sim World 5.